and we're actually bringing out some truths. Peel back the layers of all this fluff.
Shining light on this industry as a whole.
Maybe you should stay away from it. Hi everybody, welcome to Real Estate Raw and Uncut. This is episode 84. I'm Byron Lazine, joined as always by Tim Beret.
Brian, how are we doing today?
Brian, go. Where'd you get that?
I always mess it up when I'm writing.
A lot of people, you know what pisses me off actually, before we get into the episode, is you go to Starbucks and they make such a big deal. Okay, small cappuccino, right? Okay. What is your name? Sir, what is your name? I need to write your name on this cup. It's Byron, okay? It's Byron. So they write down Byron on the cup. They made a huge deal about getting my name. Then I go to pick up the cup at the end of the line, and they're like, oh, Brian, Bryson, B-Rone.
Dude, why you gotta get on my boy Vin Baker?
Vinny B, East Lyme Starbucks. But it's pathetic that you asked me 5 times for my name, and then you don't even get it right. Like, if you're not going to get my name right at the end of the line, don't ask for it. Just make the damn cappuccino and move on. All right, so that's my little...
You like how I did that, huh?
Yeah, you got me fired up there. Let's get into it. We got to keep these shows tight.
All right.
This will be... we want to actually, before we get into it, so it won't be that tight, we want to thank everybody. It's been a full year in 2015 of Raw and Uncut. This is the last episode of 2015. So we've been going at it for about a year and 3 months or whatever. We started the end of 2014. So yeah, just over a year to get 80, what did I say this was? 84? 84 episodes in. Pretty decent. So we're going to come back. What we're actually going to do is, this will be the last episode of 2015. We're going to come back on Tuesdays only in January. I'm letting Tim down. I'm going to be away for a little bit on some business adventures. But then potentially in February we'll be back with 2 shows. What we will have in January is a new series from our team for the local market from Seaport Real Estate Group called Market Minute. So if you really want some in-depth market knowledge, check that series out. That's going to be a lot of fun, and that'll be starting up.
Did your wife come up with that title?
No, I thought you did.
That was quick.
All right, let's get into it. Top 3 things. We've been doing these lists. People have been liking them. Top 3 things to look for in a location when you're buying. We're going to start at number 3, and we'll work our way to number 1. So, number 3 thing to look for, and this is when you're buying residential properties.
Correct.
So the number 3 thing to look for in your location is what is surrounding you from a commercial real estate standpoint. So is it, is it Tim's favorite establishment, the Blue?
Electric Blue.
Which is a strip club for those of you unaware.
There is an amateur night.
Amateur night, yeah, every night. Is your property line abutting a nuclear power plant? Or
a school,
or even a school,
a liquor store,
or maybe you've got a school and a liquor store,
or how about just the central business district?
Right.
So it may be to your advantage.
That's right.
Really close to the commercial zone or to a school.
That's right.
Or it could be a disadvantage, depending on what it is.
Zillow did a study that if you're within a quarter mile of a Starbucks, you actually get it's between 1% and 2% increase in your sales price. So it could be to your advantage to be to that city center, to be where a lot of people are want to walk to or hang out or whatever. If you look at the market values in those neighborhoods surrounding, it could be to your advantage.
You could use my way of doing it. How many cows do you have in the town versus how many coffee shops?
That's right.
Right? I mean, it's another way.
But yeah, it could be to your advantage. I mean, what if you're abutting a farm? You know anything about that?
I do.
I
do. My neighbors are cows. No offense, not talking about my mother-in-law.
Yeah, it could get pretty smelly, so that might be something to think about. You could be looking in the dead of winter, but then, manure season comes, and you're like, man, I got to put my house in the market.
It's good for your sinuses.
All right, so let's get into number 2 thing to look for, which would be, what are you going to hear when you're there? What's that noise factor surrounding your your property.
So it could be the school again. Is it the
Yeah.
kids getting out of school?
That's right.
An airport? Plane flying over all the time?
It could be. I've had listings where homeowners were like, only show the property
During this time frame.
in the afternoon. Oh, why is that? Well, right behind us, there's a 5-year construction project going on, and it's noisy as heck.
A gravel pit.
from 9 to 5. It's like, oh man, of course the buyer, they may see the property at 5:30, but they're going to come back for their inspection. They're going to know the noise is there. And if you are a buyer, drive by these properties during the day when you're maybe not seeing it or maybe not scheduled for a showing. Get a feel for that neighborhood.
Gravel pit. Gunshots.
Yeah.
A gun club.
Gun club.
So noise, just something to think about. Highways.
Yeah.
Just things to think about. Now, what's the number one?
The number one thing to look for in your location when you're purchasing, and this is really being biased. We're on the East Coast. This is really shoreline bias, but is your property in a flood zone?
And this really came about, what was it, October 29th, 2000?
Yeah, for the East Coast, really, for
Sandy
Superstorm
and
Sandy.
Irene.
Yeah.
And flood zone, man. I mean, everybody wants to know. I love that property, but is it in an AE or VE flood zone?
Here's what's actually interesting that an insurance agent corrected me on at one point. Every property in this country is in a flood zone. Even if you're in the middle of the country.
Correct.
You're in flood zone X.
You're in flood zone S. Right. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
every single property is in the flood zone, and you don't have to be right on the shoreline to be in the flood zone. You could be.
Oh, absolutely.
You could be in the middle of the country,
Woods.
and
Yeah.
you could be in the woods, and it could be
It's all topography.
That's right. It's all about the topography. It's all about your elevation.
Yeah.
So pay attention to that, because if you are someone that has to pay a monthly or yearly flood insurance payment, that does affect the value of your home.
And ability to sell it in the future.
That's correct. So hope you enjoyed this.
Merry Christmas.
I'll go with the politically correct Happy Holiday.
Happy Kwanzaa.
And we just really want to thank...
At least not be done.
Absolutely, everything. We want to thank everybody for engaging, being a part of the show. Please, if you haven't, subscribe on YouTube. If you haven't liked the Seaport Real Estate Group Facebook page, do that and share this video up. And we'll see you in 2016.
We're going to get Molly Bruno on the show one of these
Molly, coming up soon in 2016. There you go. Signature move.